For many years now, Hinkletown Mennonite Church has been involved with helping people that have been impacted by natural disasters throughout the United States. And we have worked through Mennonite Disaster Services to travel to these places that have been impacted and help people that can't help themselves. This year, our team traveled to Clendenin, West Virginia on March 6th through March 11th. We were joined by another group of volunteers from a church in the Chambersburg, Pennsylvania area, and together we went to a site where we were supposed to try to build 2 bridges for 2 different homeowners. We got a tremendous amount of work accomplished in a short time. It was a pure joy to be able to go down there and on a voluntary basis and help these people get back on their feet. The first evening we sat down with, or actually the next morning, but after we got there, we sat down with an engineer that showed us techniques in bridge building and some of the things that we had to do in getting this done the right way. The group had a number of people that were experienced in construction, but also a lot of people that had no experience at all. One of the first things that we had to do when we got there was clean up the site. There was a lot of debris laying around, and we spent some time picking that debris up. There were 2 areas that MDS had already placed pins in the ground where they wanted the center lines of the bridges to go for the 2 homeowners. Giving a bridge a good foundation requires quite a bit of planning. How deep to go with the excavation, where you're going to put the footers, and then driving pilasters down into the ground until you get either bedrock or a firm foundation. Here we have a picture of Eric from the Chambersburg group and Claire Martin from the Hinkletown group operating the excavator, placing the first box for one of the 2 bridges. As you can tell from the previous video, driving those pilasters was noisy business. In some cases, we had to drive those pilasters down into the ground over 40 feet before we hit a firm foundation. I was amazed at how well our 2 groups worked together, not really knowing each other, but we quickly got to know each other throughout the week. We got all of the forms placed and the pilasters driven, and we were ready for the concrete, and the concrete trucks arrived. And we soon started to pour concrete in both areas, both foundations on each of the bridges. It was really amazing, again, to watch all of this get done. I will say that during this time, we had intermittent rain throughout the week. We actually weren't able to get into the site on Monday much at all until the afternoon, and we lost some time on another day of the week too. But the long-term volunteers said that we were still on schedule. We still accomplished a great deal during that time, and we got these bridges set and ready and poured. While they were pouring the concrete, there were other members of our team that were building cages that held rocks, and also riprap was laid, and the cages were placed in front of the areas that were to have the foundations placed to prevent erosion. Erosion control is extremely critical when you're building bridges, or else all the effort that you put in place will be ruined the next time you get a lot of rain. While all of this was happening, the I-beams for the abutments that we were pouring were scheduled to come in on Friday, and our goal was to get all of the I-beams placed on both bridges and braces put in, and have the bridges bolted down. I can say with all of the rain that we got, we were able to accomplish all of this. You know, one of the things you had to be careful of when you're doing this is not to rush the process and have slipshod work done. A very important part of a trip like this is to meet the people that were there to help and to try to set them back on their feet again. This is Nathan Fink, and I had an opportunity to talk to him about what he had to put up with at his home as we were rebuilding a bridge for him. Nathan was out every day when we arrived at the site to watch this, and I could tell that he was quite excited about getting this done. He had been dealing with this footbridge that he had that was the only access to his house since 2016. He does say in the video that he used that bridge to carry groceries across to his home, and it was the only access to his home since 2016. But he also told me while we weren't on recording that he actually carried furniture across this bridge into his home. So when you see the bridge and watch him cross it, imagine trying to carry furniture across it. Here's a picture that I took of Nathan and I together as he was watching the rest of the crew working on building his bridge. It was certainly a pleasure meeting you, Nathan, and I hope that you enjoy your new bridge. Hi, Nathan. How are you?
Good.
Good. This bridge, you've been using this bridge since 2016. This is your only access to your house, is that right?
Yes.
And you have to bring your groceries across here and everything, huh?
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, it's nice meeting you, Nate.
Nice meeting you.
My name's Tom, and we're just glad we can be here and try to give you a helping hand.
I'm glad you guys are here.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing an excellent job.
Great, great. That's good stuff. All right, Nathan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We used this concrete pad nearby to build the forms for the concrete footers for the bridges, and also to build cages. Here we had Jesse Wise and Mike Roman, and also my wife Linda wiring these boxes up to have rocks put in them. This was all part of getting ready to protect the abutments from erosion from the stream. And here's Claire Martin using the excavator to put the rocks in the cages that we had done. Claire is just an excellent excavator operator. And, with all of his experience, I think he could brush his teeth with that excavator. Here's a shot of Justin Smith from the Hinkleton Group helping pour concrete. A very important part of the work throughout the week was controlling traffic around the site, and some of the ladies in our group did this, and it was a standing out there in the cold. It was cold to do it, but it was a very necessary part of keeping our site safe. They were terrific at handling the traffic around the site, and even had to, at some points, deal with people that were upset because of the delays getting through the site with all of the things that were going on. Here are some more pictures from the air of the area that we were working on, and different shots give you a little bit of a perspective of homes and the lay of the land and what we had to contend with. I also want to take time to tip my hat to the men that were in the Chambersburg group. Without them, they were instrumental in getting a lot of the technical aspects of pouring the concrete and setting the forms and stuff. You guys were just terrific, and it was a lot of fun to work with you, and I did want to tell you that we all appreciated you. Here's a shot of one of our long-term volunteers, Sam Miller, watching the progress that's being made at the site. I believe he was happy with everything that we got done. He was also instrumental in running here and there for stuff that we needed. Even with all the bad weather that we had and some of the setbacks that we had to endure, the I-beams came for the bridges on Friday. We were ready for them. We got them placed. Again, the crew from Chambersburg helped to square the bridges up, and Eric, a jack of all trades, welded the cross bracing on the bridges to give them more integrity, and we got the job done. After a long, hard day's work, we all took showers and ate a good hot meal, and we sat down and had a hymn sing. I also found out these guys are not only good builders, but they can sing and hold a tune as well. Here is a picture of Walter and Millie Kurtz, our cook for the week, and they came out to the site to see how much we were getting done. I believe they were determining whether it was worthwhile feeding us that night or not. All in all, it was an excellent week. We worked hard, we played hard, we ate well, and God watched over us and kept us safe.